The film Mother tells the story of a young woman simply known as Mother, who lives a secluded life with her husband, him, in a large mysterious house. This house, with its creaking floors and ancient walls, is not just a home but a character in itself, holding secrets and memories that shape the narrative. Their idyllic existence is disrupted by the arrival of unexpected guests, setting off a chain of events that test the limits of love, sanity, and faith. These guests, with their unpredictable behavior and invasive presence, bring chaos into the once serene environment, challenging the very foundation of Mother and him's relationship. Mother, played with haunting vulnerability by Jennifer Lawrence, is devoted to her husband and the restoration of their home. Her dedication is palpable as she pours her heart and soul into every corner of the house, hoping to create a sanctuary for them both. She seeks peace and happiness within their walls, but a palpable tension simmers beneath the surface. This tension is not just between Mother and him, but also within Mother herself, as she grapples with her own insecurities and the growing sense of unease. Javier Bardem delivers a captivating performance as him, a celebrated poet struggling with writer's block and a growing ego. His character is complex, torn between his love for Mother and his insatiable need for validation and inspiration from the outside world. He is charismatic, yet shrouded in an air of mystery, his motives often unclear. This ambiguity adds to the tension, as Mother tries to understand his true intentions and the reasons behind his actions. Their relationship, built on a foundation of love and admiration, begins to crack under the weight of unspoken anxieties and the intrusion of the outside world. The guest's presence exacerbates these cracks, bringing hidden fears and doubts to the surface. The arrival of uninvited guests disrupts their carefully constructed sanctuary, forcing Mother to confront her deepest fears and insecurities. These guests, with their relentless demands and invasive nature, push Mother to her limits, testing her resilience and strength. As the story unfolds, the line between reality and nightmare blurs, leaving the audience to question the nature of their reality and the true intentions of those around them. The film masterfully weaves a narrative that is both captivating and unsettling, drawing viewers into a world where nothing is as it seems, and every moment is fraught with tension and uncertainty. Mother's journey is one of self-discovery and survival, as she navigates the treacherous waters of her own mind and the external chaos that threatens to engulf her. Her struggle is both deeply personal and universally relatable, as she seeks to find her place in a world that seems increasingly hostile and unpredictable. Him's journey, on the other hand, is one of artistic and existential crisis. His search for meaning and inspiration leads him down a path of self-destruction and alienation, as he becomes increasingly disconnected from Mother and the reality they once shared. The house itself becomes a symbol of their relationship, a once beautiful and harmonious space now filled with tension and uncertainty. Its walls hold the echoes of their past, the dreams they once shared, and the fears that now haunt them. In the end, Mother is a haunting exploration of love, identity, and the human condition. It challenges viewers to confront their own fears and insecurities, and to question the nature of reality and the true intentions of those around them. It is a film that lingers long after the credits roll, leaving a lasting impression on all who experience its powerful narrative. The first sign of trouble arrives in the form of a man, played with unsettling charm by Ed Harris, who mistakes their home for a bed and breakfast. His arrival is unexpected and immediately sets a tone of unease. The man's demeanor is both friendly and intrusive, creating a sense of discomfort that lingers in the air. Despite Mother's apprehension, Him welcomes the man with open arms, much to her dismay. Him's hospitality seems boundless, almost to a fault, as he disregards Mother's visible discomfort. This act of welcoming a stranger into their sanctuary without hesitation marks the beginning of a series of unsettling events. Her unease grows with the arrival of the man's wife, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, whose brazen personality and flirtatious demeanor further disrupt the tranquility of their home. The wife's confident and unapologetic presence contrasts sharply with Mother's reserved nature, amplifying the tension within the household. The arrival of these strangers marks a turning point in the film. Their presence is not just a physical intrusion but a symbolic one, representing the invasion of external chaos into a previously serene environment. The strangers bring with them an air of unpredictability and disorder. Mother's quiet world is turned upside down as her home is no longer her own. The once familiar and comforting space now feels alien and hostile. Every corner of the house seems to echo with the strangers' voices, drowning out the peace that once reigned. She becomes an outsider in her own space, her voice drowned out by the boisterous presence of the unexpected guests. The sense of isolation grows as she realizes that her opinions and feelings are being systematically ignored. The strangers' lack of boundaries and blatant disregard for her feelings fuel her growing anxiety. Their overbearing presence is suffocating and their actions are increasingly invasive. They move through the house with a sense of entitlement, oblivious to the discomfort they are causing. The once peaceful abode transforms into a stage for power dynamics and hidden resentments. The interactions between the characters reveal underlying tensions and unspoken conflicts. The home, which was once a sanctuary, becomes a battleground for control and dominance. As the guests make themselves at home, Mother's sense of security crumbles, and she finds herself caught in a web of unsettling events that threaten to unravel everything she holds dear. The stability of her life is shaken, and she is left grappling with a sense of helplessness. Her pleas for normalcy fall on deaf ears, as him, blinded by his own desires, dismisses her concerns and embraces the chaos that has infiltrated their lives. Him's actions reflect a deeper disconnect between the couple, highlighting the fragility of their relationship. The chaos brought by the strangers serves as a catalyst, exposing the cracks in their bond and pushing Mother to the brink of despair. The emotional turmoil Mother experiences is palpable, her distress evident in every glance and gesture. She is trapped in a situation that spirals further out of her control with each passing moment. The stranger's presence forces her to confront her deepest fears and insecurities, making her question the very foundation of her existence. The stranger's takeover of the household is complete, leaving Mother feeling more isolated than ever. Her struggle to reclaim her space and her voice becomes a central theme as she battles against the overwhelming force of the intruders. The film delves into the psychological impact of this invasion, exploring themes of identity, autonomy, and the human need for sanctuary. In the end, Mother stands alone in the chaos, a poignant symbol of resilience and vulnerability. Her journey through the turmoil brought by the strangers is a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. The film leaves us with a haunting reminder of the fragility of our personal sanctuaries and the ever-present threat of external disruption. The tension escalates with the arrival of the man and woman's two sons, who bring with them a wave of destruction and violence. Mother's worst fears are realized as her home, her sanctuary, is desecrated right before her eyes. The once pristine walls are stained with blood and the air thick with unspoken tension. The arrival of the sons pushes Mother to her breaking point. She becomes increasingly isolated, her warnings ignored and her boundaries trampled upon. She is a prisoner in her own home, her voice lost in the cacophony of chaos that surrounds her. Her pleas to him to regain control fall on deaf ears. He is consumed by his own ego, reveling in the attention and admiration of their guests, oblivious to the turmoil he has unleashed upon his wife. The house, once a symbol of their love, transforms into a battleground for control and sanity. The arrival of the sons marks a descent into chaos, a foreshadowing of the darkness that is to come. The fragile peace is shattered, leaving Mother to face the consequences of her husband's actions and the terrifying reality of her situation. Section 4. The Ultimate Betrayal. In a devastating turn of events, Mother discovers she is pregnant, bringing a glimmer of hope amidst the turmoil. The news of her pregnancy is like a beacon of light in the darkness, a promise of new beginnings and a future filled with possibilities. She envisions a life where her child grows up in a world of love and security, far removed from the chaos that currently surrounds her. However, her joy is short-lived. The initial euphoria of impending motherhood is quickly overshadowed by a sense of foreboding. She can feel the tension in the air, the unease that seems to permeate every corner of her existence. Her tears are not just of joy but also of fear and uncertainty. The arrival of their baby becomes a catalyst for even greater chaos, as the guests, now an unruly mob, descend upon the newborn with terrifying fervor. The once joyous occasion turns into a nightmare as the crowd's excitement morphs into something far more sinister. The stadium, which should have been a place of celebration, becomes a battleground. The birth of her child, a symbol of her love and hope for the future, is tragically tainted by the intrusion of the outside world. The innocence of the newborn is starkly contrasted by the madness that surrounds them. The baby, who should have been welcomed with open arms, is instead met with chaos and hostility. Mother's worst nightmares become a reality as she witnesses the brutal disregard for life and the primal instincts that lurk beneath the surface of civility. The veneer of societal norms is stripped away, revealing the raw, unfiltered emotions of the crowd. She is forced to confront the harsh truth that beneath the surface, humanity is capable of unimaginable cruelty. This event marks a complete breakdown of order and reason. The stadium, once a symbol of unity and sportsmanship, is now a scene of utter chaos. The rules that govern society seem to have dissolved, leaving behind a lawless mob driven by base instincts. The guests, consumed by their own desires and fueled by a mob mentality, transform into a terrifying force, incapable of empathy or restraint. Their collective frenzy is a stark reminder of how easily the thin veneer of civilization can be shattered, revealing the primal instincts that lie beneath. Mother, in her most vulnerable state, is faced with the ultimate betrayal as her husband, blinded by his need for adoration, fails to protect her and their child. His actions, or lack thereof, are a devastating blow to her trust and faith in him. She realizes that the man she thought she knew is not the protector she believed him to be. The sanctity of their home is irrevocably violated, leaving Mother utterly alone in her grief and despair. The place that was supposed to be a safe haven is now a haunting reminder of her loss and betrayal. She sits alone, surrounded by the echoes of what once was, grappling with the enormity of her pain. The loss of her child, coupled with the betrayal of her husband, pushes her to the brink of madness, forcing her to confront the true nature of the man she loves. She is left to pick up the pieces of her shattered life, questioning everything she once held dear. The ultimate betrayal has not only taken her child, but has also stripped her of her sense of security and trust, leaving her to navigate a world that now feels alien and hostile. Section 5. Descent into Chaos. The film reaches a fever pitch as the house becomes engulfed in a maelstrom of violence and destruction. The line between reality and allegory blurs as the guests, now a frenzied mob, wreak havoc, their actions taking on a symbolic and disturbing significance. Mother, pushed to her absolute limit, becomes an avatar of rage and despair. She fights back against the invaders, her actions fueled by a primal need to protect what little remains of her shattered world. The once quiet and nurturing soul is consumed by the darkness that has invaded her sanctuary. The escalating chaos within the house serves as a microcosm of the destructive nature of blind faith, unchecked ambition, and the insatiable hunger for power. It is a commentary on the dangers of unchecked adoration and the ease with which humanity can succumb to its basest instincts. As the house crumbles around her, Mother's journey becomes a haunting exploration of grief, loss, and the destructive power of unchecked chaos. The film leaves the audience grappling with unsettling questions about the nature of faith, the fragility of sanity, and the cyclical nature of destruction and rebirth.